Today I'm looking at a Hunter PVE build with Orpheus Rig, as well as some exotic weapons and armour to maximise damage and fun for hunters in PVE. I've done a few Hunter PVE builds recently, but this one has to be the best one yet. I'm going to be taking a look at Orpheus Rig as the basis of the build, but the complementary weapons and mods really make this one pack a punch in PVE. So the following is an Orpheus Rig Hunter PVE build for Destiny 2. And if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. The theme of this build is void damage, so I'm going to be looking at selecting a few tools from the toolbox to improve your PvE experience by maximising the damage output of our hunters in combination with a few weapons and mods. So let's have a look at the build in a little bit more detail. First up, it's the exotic armour Orpheus Rig. And these are a random world drop exotic, so you can pick this one up from Xur when he's around or get them from a random world drop exotic engram. So let's have a look at the perks of the armour first of all. So we've got Uncanny Arrows that provides ability energy for each enemy tethered by deadfall anchors, and Mobius Quiver has more shots. And we've also got a mobility enhancement mod that increases your mobility. So this exotic armour is going to pair up really nicely with our subclass, which I'll go into next. So for the subclass, we're going to be using Way of the Trapper, which is Top Tree Night Stalker. And first up, we've got Snare Bomb, so throw a smoke bomb from a distance with this melee ability. The smoke bomb sticks to surfaces and detonates when enemies are near, slowing and disorientating them. Next up, we've got Keen Scout, so sprint and sneak faster and gain an enhanced tracker. Tethered enemies are marked for easy tracking. Then we've got Deadfall, so the void anchors far from this shadow shot become traps and wait for prey. Void anchors have increased range and last longer. And finally we've got Vanishing Step, so dodging makes you vanish from sight for a short time. Orpheus Rig and Way of the Trapper go together well because of the synergy with Deadfall. What we're going to be doing here is tethering a whole bunch of enemies, and we're going to be given back a fair amount of our super energy, meaning in PvE activities like the Contact Public Event or Altars of Sorrow, anything with loads of smaller enemies, we're going to be able to trap them in our tether, kill them and then get a bunch of super energy back, meaning that we can do it all over again much faster. And this is going to be the tool for dealing with loads of smaller enemies, but when it comes to bosses, we're going to be using a combination of mods and weapons, and I'll get into those next. So let's have a look at the weapons, and first up I'm going to be using Graviton Lance. This is an exotic energy pulse rifle and another random drop, or you can pick it up from Xur. You can also get this one in the Red War campaign, although that's going to be going away in a few months with the release of Beyond Light. So you want to check Xur's inventory each week and pick it up if you see it. Well, let's check out the perks on this one. So first up we've got Black Hole, so second shot of a burst rips a hole through space-time, doing high damage and recoil with no fall off. Then we got Cosmology, so kills with this weapon cause enemy targets to detonate and spawn void projectiles that track targets. So Graviton Lance goes well with our void synergy for the build, but it's also great for dishing out damage to our smaller enemies that have been trapped by our super. If you can get a super into a large amount of smaller enemies, then you're going to get a lot of your super back and then pick them off with Graviton Lance. When you get kills with this weapon, it's going to activate Cosmology, meaning void projectiles go after nearby enemies, making this one really useful for picking off groups of adds from a distance or mopping up anything that your super didn't take care of. I'm going to be pairing this one up with Supremacy. This is a sniper rifle from the Last Wish raid, and this one isn't going to be sunset until the end of Season 14 at least, and it's a really good 140 RPM sniper rifle. I'm going to be pairing this one up with the mod Remote Connection, so we get bonus super energy back when I get sniper kills. It's also good to have a long range weapon, so you can take out enemies where they spawn or deal precision damage on targets. And the last weapon I'm going to be using is Falling Guillotine, and this one is available from the Season Pass in Season of Arrivals and through Umbral Engrams. You can check out a guide for getting that weapon here. And I don't know if this one is going to be available when the season goes away, so do try and get it now in Season of Arrivals while it's still around. So next up I'm having a look at the mods. So whereas the super and primary weapons are going to take out smaller enemies, then the mods and the power weapon are going to be helping out with killing bosses very quickly. So I'm going to be using a combination of Lucent Blade, Oppressive Darkness and Remote Connection. So first up we've got Lucent Blade, so while charged with light, dealing damage with the sword gives you bonus sword damage for 5 seconds, consuming 1 stack of charge with light. Next up is Oppressive Darkness, so causing damage with avoid grenades adds a weakening effect to combatants. And finally, Remote Connection, as I mentioned before, I'm going to be using that with Supremacy, and it gives us back bonus super energy on sniper kills. So Lucent Blade is a mod available in Season of Arrivals and works really well with Charge with Light, giving a 35% damage increase with swords, making it great for absolutely deleting bosses. Oppressive Darkness is a mod found on the seasonal artifact, so when you throw a void grenade and do damage, then you can follow this up with some sword swipes for even more damage, making the combination of Lucent Blade and Oppressive Darkness great for taking out bosses at the end of events or activities. So now we've got our build in place, let's have a look at some gameplay. So we're going to take out some enemies with Graviton Lance, start to build up super energy with sniper kills, so unleash your super on a bunch of enemies and take them down, throw your grenades to activate Oppressive Darkness, and then run in there with your sword and finish them off with that massive damage from Lucent Blade. So this is definitely the most fun I've had in PvE for some time, running around and causing massive damage. You have everything here in your arsenal. You've got ad control, short range with a sword, long range with a sniper, the ability to take care of big groups of enemies and also boss damage too. So try this one out and let me know what you think down there in the comments. Well, that's it for this guide for an Orpheus Rig Hunter PVE build in Destiny 2, and thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, subscribe and share with a friend. To join our community, check out the Discord link in the description, or you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, liking and sharing the video really helped me out. Otherwise, check out these other videos on the channel. Thanks again, I'll see you soon, and I'll leave you with some footage of me running around in the Contact Public event, trying out this build.
Have found us. You can either start chanting or buy me a few minutes. Let Drifter work. There's a lot of bluster just to show up and want to chat. Take a tip from your old pal Drifter. When someone's talking, don't watch the mouth. You dig?